start running back. Let's gather organic material as we run. Oh god. 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 Yes, I'm suffocating. I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm aware. No. 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 Hi everybody. 1SmolPot8o here with a very first episode of Astroneer. This is kind of going to be an episodic series, but you guys are going to see it a little bit later after I finish one of our current series. But this is going to give you guys a bit of a taste of what Astroneer is like, as I've been told some of you don't know what Astroneer is, but most of our Patreons do, and our Patreons voted on this. So let's see, we're going to start, not new creative, we're going to start a new adventure game. From my save, you can already see I've played a little bit of this. This is a really pretty game, and they're always adding updates to it, which I think is really cool. I think the only thing I wish they would change is I wish there were more hostile creatures. Because there's not really creatures, there's just plants that want to murder you. Which, you know, sounds terrifying, and then you realize the plants can't move and they can kind of explode. Alright. So, I'm at my little dropship. Oh god. Alright, so kind of explain how Astroneer works. What essentially you do is you can't, traverse alien worlds, orbit, find strange interesting objects, pick up, drop, zoom, run, jump. Okay, that's all the controls. There we go. So essentially, here's us. And what we want to do, what we have is a tether. As you notice, we're a little tethered. That's our oxygen. We cannot survive very much without it. You also want to remember your shelter, because then if the weather gets rough, the further you go when you go to the harder planets. So so you want to hide in your shelter. But for the key point right now of what we're doing is we're going to try to extend our tether. And we're going to try to get to the core of this planet. By unlocking the core of the planet, you effectively kind of end the game. There's no real story to Astroneer, which I think is kind of interesting. I think it makes it really relaxing. And I think out of the survival games, this and 7 Days to Die would be ones I'd want to live stream. And like, just hang out and chat with you guys. Okay, so mission log. Discover a gateway chamber. Locate one of the strange structures emitting pillar of light. Yes, I know what that we saw one earlier. You know that weird structure that looked like a cube? That's what we want. Okay, Astroneer basics. Unpack oxygenator. Install oxygenator on shelter. Connect printer power to shelter. Discover a gateway chamber. Yes. Alright. So, there we go. And we want... There's something that usually has this... drop stuff off. Planet fall. Okay, so we arrived. Oh, here's our printer. It's our little printer. They get bigger later on as we upgrade, but we're gonna have to get to other planets for more. Oh, that's our little gun. We're gonna need more planets as we go. Well, because this planet only has so many resources, and the metals we'll need on other planets will help us actually get better equipment. Because this is a tiny printer. We're gonna need a bigger printer later in the game. Though I like this printer. Okay, so let's see. Examine what we want is, that's a medium printer. We do want to make a medium printer, and we need 2 compound to get it. Though, we need to make more tethers. So, hold on. Where's my inventory? Well, this is to gather a material. So that's showing me that's plant life. So you notice the little blue bars going down on my little guy. My little guy's, that's his oxygen. Now, we want to be very careful going down these, because you slide really easily in this game. That's one of the other ways you can die. There is fall damage, so I don't recommend, oh god. Don't recommend just jumping off of cliffs here. It's kind of one of the problems is you can easily fall and die in this game if you're not careful. And slide and die. Because your character will slide on, like, the littlest thing. At the littlest amount of speed, which is actually terrifying. Also, oh dear, I'm running out of oxygen. Let me rush back up here. The yellow bar in my backpack is my battery. So if you don't know, so if there's something that needs energy and I'm hooked up to it, it will, oh wait, I think that's compound right over there. That's what we need. It looks like macaroni and cheese, which is kind of weird. I also really like that you can see the other planets you can go to in Astroneer as you go by. So let's see, we're looking for compound. Yeah, no, that's not compound, that's resin. But we do need this for later. So let's gather a little bit of it because our backpack has a lot of space. Okay, there you go. See? Whenever your backpack has space, it fills up one of the little nodes. So like you can have 8, and then you can have actually little extra little storage spaces. I also really like the music in this game. The art's pretty. It's very simplistic, but not overwhelming. Oh wait, that's compound. Please tell me that's compound. That is, yes, that's compound. That's what we're looking for. The gray blobs. That's compound. That's exactly what we're looking for. Give me compound. Yes. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can without running out of oxygen here, because we need a lot. We need 2 things of it. I also like how this game is very peaceful. It's like imagine comparing. It's like, okay, if you were to compare the different games I've played so far, this is like the child of No Man's Sky and Minecraft, I'd say. Just because of how peaceful and laid back it is, though I do wish it had mobs that would try to kill you. But outside of that, it's the exploration feels like No Man's Sky, but the crafting of it kind of also feels like Minecraft. Oh wait, hold on. That's the oxygenator. I need this. Hello, oxygenator. I need to put you in the... There we go. I'm surprised. I'm lucky I have it. There we go. Install oxygenator. I'm lucky I haven't run out of oxygen, because that's a problem. There we go. I've completed that. Oh, tethers. Yes. So you guys are probably wondering what tethers are. What tethers essentially do is they... Okay, sorry. I'm getting my quest set up. Okay. What tethers essentially do is that they allow me to move a lot more freely. Like, I could go here and back without running out of oxygen. And I could go get the compound and back without actually having to worry about running out of oxygen. So let's see here. Nope, that's my gun. Here are my tethers. So hold F to use. See? So they extend my oxygen network. So I can... The best way to get the most out of them is you want to find where it starts to detether, and then just set it there. So that way you lose the least amount of tethers, but have the greatest amount of distance. Eventually you get kind of cars, and you don't have to worry as oxygen about that, because you can... Oh wait, there's more compound over here, which is nice. But at least we'll have one... I'll just leave this one tether floating around in case we need to disperse somewhere. But I think where we want to head is over here. You'll have an automatic tether to the car, and you won't run out of oxygen when you have a car. Though the problem is you can go too far from your shelter. As I start to go away from my shelter, it'll have this little icon. But the farther I go, but eventually, only your car will have the icon, and then your house won't have the tether anymore, and that's how you lose your house. So you don't want to do that. The tethers also are great for finding your way back. And here's the little printer. It's like a little... I also like the printer. I also like the little mechanics of this game. Because look at the printer. It's like a little 3D printer, which I think is really cool. I mean, it's called a printer. So of course it'd be like a 3D printer. But I think it's really cool. Oh. Let's actually unpack this. Though, the problem is we don't have a platform to put it on. Because it needs a platform. So you may notice it doesn't have like a little stand like the other one does, and that's because it needs a little platform. So what we want to make is a medium platform, and we need resin to do it, which we got earlier. There's not real... You can put markers, I think, but the markers are actually expensive in terms of materials. So it makes... Well, they get very cheap later on, depending upon what you find. But I kind of prefer to use landmarks, so like how the resin looks like macaroni over there, I'll leave some resin, so that way if I go by here, if I go by from a long distance, or at least, let's say my house wasn't here and was over that mountain, and I see the resin, I'll be like, oh, there's the resin macaroni, I know where that is. I know where I am now in relative to my house. There's a button to rotate, but I've forgotten what it is. Is it? Okay. Is it the arrow? Nope, it's not the arrow keys. Nope. I can't remember what the button is to rotate, but that's okay. I think for the beginning of most of this, I actually didn't rotate anything and just kind of left it how it was. Okay. Let's see. Examine medium printer. So we need 3 compound for large printer, but that's not what we want right at the moment. We want, let's see, platform. So close it, platform, research chamber, printer. We want to get to our car, but the car would be a large printer. So let's see. But we don't want to get a vehicle as fast as possible. We need other things to do this. Okay, so we need 2 compound for rover seat, which we would need. Medium storage, platform A. We already have printer, so let's see. Let's go... Okay, let's go ahead and make the large printer. So we need 3 compound, which would be all the way over here. Because having the 3 compound would having it do that would actually be really easy. Also, you're probably wondering about what's the byte scan and the research thing. What the research essentially is that it. Oh, that's neat. It used to not update you on what you had on the resources you collected for what you were making. It actually used to not tell you, so you had to kind of memorize it on how much you needed of what, which I think is neat. But you're probably wondering why why research is also important and why there's a research machine. It's not to craft new things necessarily. It's what it is actually to, let's see, is there, I think this is the shop, this is mission log. But essentially what it was to do is that if you spend bytes, you can learn new, there's new things. Oops, I forgot T is where you drop the tethers, which would make sense. Let's have them extend out this way then. Let's have them, okay, there we go. Because we're gonna go into the forest eventually. We're gonna need to cover this whole planet if we're gonna try to find where these beams of light are, and then we're gonna have to put down little nodes so that way we can find it a little bit easier. But essentially, we send research bytes to not understand new materials, but to actually gain access to craft new items. Oh, the power is not great. See, it's going slow. The other one went really fast. This one's going really slow. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm actually going to need to craft... Let's see. Where are... Hold on, it's been a minute. Because what I need to do... what I need to do is I actually need to... I need to craft solar panels, so that way this will get a lot more energy. I can also craft the wind generator, but this planet's not always windy, so it's not very lucrative to do so. So let me see. Oh yeah, the shelter also saves the game, by the way, which is uber important to know and never forget. There we go. It's oxygen filters. That's not what I need. Small canister, small generator. That's what I need. There we go. The small generator runs on organics, so which is essentially any plants around, any plant life. So we need to find more plant life. Oh, yeah, see, tabs for bytes. Tabs the byte story. So let's see, we already know a small printer. Package items, easier carrying, transport, not really, we don't need that. Power cells. We do need small solar. That would actually help. So we don't have access to copper though, but that's still important to learn. We don't have, it's going to be important. The reason I say it's going to be important to learn is because we're going to need it for 1, our backpack, and 2, if we plug a solar panel into our car, we can permanently charge our car by daytime, which means we won't have to worry about running out of charge while we're away, which will make life a little bit easier. Just gather all of this. Okay, so I gathered some organic. We're gonna need more organic later. But for the time being, though... Okay, so here's our large printer. let's put this here. Okay, so large printer, large platform, and we need 2 resin, which we do not have, and the resin's over here. The planets are really different. You don't need to explicitly stay here. Oh god, that was one of the hurt plants. No, wait, that's a bouncy plant, isn't it? I think. Yes. That's a bounce plant that also hurts you. So, you gotta be very careful with it. This game is multiplayer, and it's really fun multiplayer. I highly recommend it. They're always adding new stuff, as I mentioned before. It's just, this game is really pretty and really relaxing. I think if I wanted to, it's like, out of the games I'd want to play to relax, if I wanted to like relax and just play a game, I can turn on and off, turn it on and off, and just kind of fall asleep too. This would be it. Oh god, my oxygen's running low. No, 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 I will die. I will die. Oh, I feel like that's gonna be a reoccurring problem here. Because I'm not gonna be paying attention and then my oxygen's gonna start to deplete. Very horribly so. And it's gonna be like, oh, that's, not great. Oh, I only need 2 resin. But that's okay. Okay, let's grab this. There we go. And now the power, now see, it's going way faster now. It's going way faster now because the generator's turned on. Let me grab more plant life while I'm at it. Because it's gonna run out of organics here and start to slow down. Eventually we won't actually need organics and we can run off of things like coal. But at the moment though we won't get there for quite a while. I think what we're gonna need to do that on is basically we can make a furnace, but the furnace is it's gonna be on a whole other planet. It's gonna be a lot of back and forth. So first we're going to have to figure out where each of those pillars are, which are gateways to the planet. And then our next goal is going to be that we're going to have to make a spaceship to go to the other planets to get other resources and come back and forth. We're going to end up having to build a base there just to build a whole other extra generator. Because the thing about our rocket is that when it doesn't quite exactly tell you and you can't judge, you literally cannot tell based off of this pod alone, is that the rocket the game gives you let's just, well no, I need this first. So let's just plug that in. So let's see, large printer. Cause see, silicon and plastic, we don't have access to that. Oh, I can't make a car yet, can I? Well, I guess if I can't make a car, what I want to do is a research, and I need 2 compounds. So let me replug this in. I don't want to point. I'm gonna accidentally press that button a few times, I swear. But essentially what it is there's gonna be a lot of back and forth. As I was mentioning before I got distracted trying to take inventory here. Our rocket's jets can only go once or twice and then they're out. So the problem is once we land on a planet, we're gonna be stuck there. There's not gonna be a way for us to come back. It's not gonna be an easy way coming back and forth. It's gonna essentially, in a nutshell, force us to make another base on that planet before we can get back to this one. So building one here though, and taking resources with us is gonna actually make it a little bit faster process. Because anything on our backpack we take with us to the next planet. I think we can also attach something else to a rocket, or not. I don't quite remember. I got as far as to getting to other planets, and that was more or less it. I didn't get super far. Like, I built a lot, but I didn't get what I would consider far enough that I had multiple bases on multiple planets. I had at least 2 and started the second one, and then took a break from playing when I got into making videos for you guys. So this is gonna be interesting. I don't know what else all they've changed. Because the quest guide wasn't there before. It was kind of like you pushed a button and your stuff showed up. And then you proceeded from there to just kind of build, to kind of survive and live around. Oh god, I can't wait to show you guys the other plants because they're all different colors and it's really pretty. It's also really cool because you can see different. You can essentially see different things. I started on the beginner planet. I can't remember if you can choose what planet you're on or not. I didn't see a reason to start on a hard planet just because I was showing you guys the game, essentially. And having a taste of what it's like. God. Turn off. Alright, research center. Ta-da! What we're gonna need is we're going to need a large, not a large printer, large platform, and we don't have enough resin for that. The beginning of this is gonna be going back and forth when we have vehicles and stuff. It's gonna be a whole lot faster. The reason why we're going to go back and the big epic reason of why we're going to need a lot of materials from other planets and going back and forth, aside from the obvious of that the other planets will have the materials we'll need, is we can't make a vehicle with the materials here to drill to the core of the planet. Unlocking the core of the planet is going to be the easy part, though, because each planet essentially requires the materials that you find on the. Oh, let me not die. Oh. Let me stop sliding. Like this planet here, I think only needs the materials that you can find on this planet. The next planet's core will unlock that. But the thing is you have to go to each planet to get the materials. Okay, it's a work light, which I don't want. Because we don't have, because it's like, you need really powerful late game materials to be able to drill to the core of the planet. Also, our car's not going to be able to run very long, considering our drill would be mostly on wind and solar power. We'd need a lot of batteries we'd need a lot of batteries to stick to it. We'd also need to be able to safely get down there, because it's very easy to just kind of dig yourself in a Minecraft hole straight down, and then you don't have any oxygen, or you have no way back up. Because the vehicles are a little bit wonky to control. You'd have to experience it for yourself on how hard it is to control them. You kind of get used to it and can navigate around it, but the problem is, though, is that it also gets stuck fairly easily. Like these rocks here that kind of just mesh in with the rest of the colors. The small ones here are ones you're gonna get stuck on. Obviously not ones this small, but they're like. There are ones that are much smaller than that you can get easily stuck on, and it's really hard because you can't outright just get rid of those rocks. You have to kind of dig around them until they disappear and hopefully hope you can get your car out. I'm waiting for this organic to finish. Oh no, wait, it's not on, is it? There we go. I forgot. I thought it was on. It's not. There we go. You essentially get so used to the organics being on that you don't actually think that it never occurs to you about the with the generators. It never occurs to you that they're off or on anymore. Especially if you run on a power other than generators, because eventually we'll get more powerful generators. But at the moment, though, we're gonna just run off of these tiny little generators. Okay, so as you can see, the research chamber actually takes a lot of power, but as you can see, there's nothing in it at the moment. What we want is a big thing. I don't know what to call it. Sometimes it's a vegetable, sometimes it's a large mineral deposit. There we go. That's what I want. See? Oh. It's very easy to drop. This is a large mineral deposit, but if we go into the forest like that, we might find a vegetable that will also do the same. They do about the same, but I think if you go underground, the research, you get more bytes to research it than you would up on the surface. There we go. So we want it to search as fast as possible, so that way we can actually start getting more into our little shop. Oop. Put the gun away. There we go. Because you see, each one shows different printers. So this is our backpack. This is our small printer. That's our medium printer, and this is our large. We want to get to the large printer. Because the large printers actually can make the large printer can make little things. We want the wind turbine. Like, you can make a little goal, soccer goal, so if you want to play, like, soccer on this, you can. It's kind of up to you. I'm not going to really do the recreational stuff. I'm going to actually focus on making the... See there, the Bucky, and we want that for the medium. I'm just gonna kind of mess around. I'm gonna kind of more or less mess around and focus on the stuff that's actually usable. I think the devs said that they were working on a drone camera the last time, which I think is really cool. That you can actually use in game to kind of scout around. I can't quite remember. The devs are very hands-on in terms of community compared to most, so which is why I also highly recommend this game. Because usually the devs don't interact with the community sometimes, and these actually do. And they actually have the community vote on what gets in the game and what does not get into the game. The last time I remember they were voting on like a little camera / drone system that you could make later in the game that could actually maneuver around. Which would be actually really neat. I think that's what they were speaking about last time. You could actually... There's no height limit as far as I know in terms of making your base. So if you wanted to make a base super tall, you could. Some people have made it all the way up into outer space. I'm not going to. There's not a whole lot in terms of creativity in base building aside from being able to make walls. You can't you can't really make furniture and other than the outdoor things of what I showed you. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. My main focus is mostly going to be building, upgrading, and trying to get to the core of this planet. Now, if I'm going to unlock the rest of the course of the planet remains to be said, because I think you only need to unlock one. Yeah, I think you only need to unlock one to essentially end the game. Because other than that, there's no real end to it. You can just kind of chill if you want. Okay, so let's see here. Still, it's going to take approximately 2 minutes. Now, if we can make a bigger generator, that would be nice, but I don't think we can. That's not what I want. There we go. Because okay. Exquisite platform. EXO request platform, that's not what we want. We also don't have ceramic. Ceramic comes later. I think making a large generator might be what we want to make next, so that way we can actually go a little bit faster before we make the car. Because, well, there's the car, there's the buggy, and then there's the, I think, rover? They're two different, they sound very similar. What I'm trying to, they sound very similar. The car can't be tethered, the car can't have little tether cars to it, like a little train. The one we want can. Because the reason why I'm saying the one we want can is because we want to be able to maneuver stuff back and forth. The car goes very fast. This, on the other hand, is able to actually move research items to and from one place to the next without having much trouble. I see another research thing over there. I'm actually glad we landed here because then it's like there's a lot more research stuff to find. So it's actually not a whole lot of work. I don't have to... Because sometimes you don't land where there's a lot of research stuff to be found. And so it's a little bit tricky trying to find it, because it's luck. It's kind of like finding diamonds in Minecraft. You get lucky, and sometimes you wait and search for like a long while. The deeper underground you go, you'll more likely find a lot more research materials that give you a lot more bites than these. But they're better than nothing for the time being. Oh, the generator's out. There you go. If we have a bigger generator, it would go a lot faster, because see, it's not really running at full power. Nope, unlock. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's see. This is Smol, auto arm. You can do a lot. You can do a lot with this game, aside from the fact that we don't have the tractor's what we want. Because aside from the fact that it doesn't look like a whole lot of much in terms of base building, you can automate a lot of things. Like, they added the arm fairly recently. They added the auto arm fairly recently, so that way you can actually start automating what you do. So like the auto arm would be able to take any like, let's say I had a storage unit for organic material. I'd have a storage unit for organic material set up here, and the auto arm would move it over for every time the generator ran out. Which actually would make it which would actually make this process a whole lot faster. Though I'm not that great on auto, no, I'm not that great at automation, but I shall try. I shall try when we get to the later planets, because it's going to be a lot to try to get the resources back and forth, and I'm going to need the resources just to start smelting. Because we're going to need to bring some smelted resources back. But we also might just make a smelter here. So, I do want to kind of explore around a little bit more, though. So let's... Because I think it's either in this forest or it's over that mountain where the Pillar of Light is. They're a lot easier to see at night. You can also find crashed spaceships, which you can use for parts, but I've never made the recycler yet. Oh wait, speaking of organic material. Remember when I mentioned about the vegetables that you can research? Ta-da! Sometimes you find them in the trees. Mostly you find them in the trees, sometimes you find them in the ground. This is one of the vegetables I was talking about. They all look like this. There's no variation. They all look like this, which I don't know what I'd describe. The heads of them remind me of carrots, but the bottom of them reminds me of a potato. So I wouldn't know exactly what you call them. Considering there's not a whole lot of base building, I think that kind of explains why there's not any hostile mobs. Seeing as, like, there is base building, but there's not essentially defensive base building. The most you can get is essentially what I pointed out earlier about how your little house protects you from the elements. You also cannot sleep, by the way. You can't. I was like, wait, people are probably like, Smol, why are you just letting the day pass? You can't sleep and skip time, unfortunately. Though, the funny thing is, though, is that you all can share the same... everyone can share the same shelter. You can also build rockets for multiple people, so you don't just leave people behind. You can also all get on the same rocket, because it takes a little bit more resources, but you can. And everybody can sit in the shelter, so it's not like people need to build multiple shelters. Unless you really want to. Unless you want to build multiple shelters on the same planet and live separate from each other, you can. But I don't see why you would. You can just all sit in each other's laps, get to know each other a little bit better. Probably a little too well. Probably you guys might not be comfortable with that, but that's okay. You just, as long as you're surviving out a sandstorm, whatever, what have you, you'll be fine. I think I saw actually new material over there that I'm going to try to go grab. Let me refill an oxygen right quick. I have my tether. Got just a little bit further so it gives me a head start. Because for the most part, I'm not going to use the tethers a whole lot. It's going to be when I start to travel long distances, you'll see me use the tethers more often. What is this? But for any beginning or any kind of exploration, I'm not going to super use the tethers. Okay, well, I found some of it. Is there more of it in this mountain? There we go. I will say compared to how this looks though, the mining is a little wonky. You can easily screw yourself over because you can make a hill too steep. You don't want to make graphite. Interesting. So now we found graphite. Start running back. Let's gather organic material as we run. Oh god. 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 Yes, I'm suffocating. I'm aware. No. I'm right there. Oh god. Oh fuck. A character start. I have to slow down, and that was not me. That was just him running out of oxygen, slowly dying. It's not an immediate death, but you will die. Immediate death was right at the edge there. So graphite, natural resource. Well, good to know. I kind of like that it tells you it's a natural resource. I think there's also a thing that tells you what each thing is. Wait, let's see. I think it's not escape. Creative mode, that's not it. There was something else, but I can't... There was something else, but I don't quite remember. It's essentially you can look in this game and find what it doesn't tell you exactly what planets it can be found on, but it tells you if it's a natural resource or not. It doesn't also tell you how to find it, but it shows you basically what the symbol looks like. So if you hover over it from a distance and you see the symbol, you'll be like, hey, I know what this is. Which will make things go a little bit easier. Well, yeah, I'm gonna leave that on. Because actually, unfortunately, that's actually gonna be all the time we have for this episode. Okay, stop looking at stuff. Okay, there we go. Just have my character look at the screen. If I can, make him. There we go. Have him just look straight ahead. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this episode. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you feel like please give any sort of like constructive criticism in the comments below. Constructive criticism being saying like, hey, I liked it, but I feel like it would be better if you could do this instead. Or hey, Smol, because saying you either really liked the video or you didn't like this one part's not really counted as constructive criticism. So it's constructive criticism if you say, hey, I liked this, but I think you could improve here. That way it gives a person a step forward, and it also doesn't sound necessarily super harsh. Just have this go. There you go. So it doesn't sound super harsh. Oop. I don't have any more organic, but that's okay. I'll just let it go. I'll just let it go like that. But please also share us around. It really helps us out. Check our Patreon. It just basically describes itself. It helps the channel out. It helps us get new games for new material like this. It helps us also get new equipment such as new cameras, new keyboards. I'm saving up for a new computer right now. So basically things like that. You also get all kinds of perks like a link to our Discord, so you guys can participate in that. I hope you guys are having an awesome Monday. I know Monday sucks. You got the whole week ahead of you, but hey, look at it this way. It's not Sunday, and you're one step closer to Friday. As always, I'm 1SmolPot8o, and I will see you guys next episode. Bye bye.